Theirs is a simple motto, more than a club. And since 2005, Barcelona have indeed proved to be the incarnation of a philosophy. A world-class academy produced world-class players and a world-beating team. Consistent application of cherished principles captured a dazzling array of trophies, culminating in 3 Champions League titles in 5 years. In 1992, Barcelona finally emerged from the shadow of their arch-rivals Real Madrid, who had won the European Cup 6 times in its early years. Leading Barcelona to that success was Dutchman Johan Cruyff.
I'm different than a lot of other people. Let the people come to the stadium and let them enjoy themselves. I mean, when I go to the stadium, what do I want to see? I like to see a goal, I like to see a nice action. I like to see somebody who treats the ball very well, who does something nice, and that's what we did.
Ronald Koeman's free kick gave the Blaugrana a 1-0 win over Sampdoria and their first ever European Cup.
It was a club which almost 100 years existed, never won it. And now you didn't only win it, but the way you won it. And it was not one day you played good, no. A lot of years together, study working, controlling the whole thing, get people in place.
Embracing this philosophy, Cruyff's Barcelona were dubbed the Dream Team. They won 4 successive Spanish League titles from 1991. And foreign talents such as Risto Stoichkov, Koeman and Michael Laudrup helped to ensure that when Cruyff stepped down in 1996, his legacy would be lasting.
It's a question of to get the philosophy going. And it was a pity that I couldn't finish that off, because I think with a great team, a very big team, always counts on the people from their own club. I think almost impossible for a long time, let's say 2, 3, 4 years in a row, to buy people.
The Dutchman was missed. By 2003, the club had added just a European Cup Winners' Cup in 1997 and successive League and Copa del Rey titles. But one man's childhood worship of Cruyff would rekindle ambitions of greatness.
When Johan came to play for Barca in 1973, we were 10. We used to get our hair cut like his. We copied his running style. He really created a social revolution at Barca at the time.
30 years later, that youngster was elected club president, and his strategy for success was clear.
We opted for a footballing revolution. We decided to return to the footballing philosophy that we thought was the best for Barca. And that philosophy is based on Johan Cruyff.
The way you win it, the way you play, and the way the people talk about you. They don't talk about you, no, you won the game. No, we enjoy watching. And once again, enjoy watching the games from Barcelona is much more important than only winning.
A lot of Barcelona fans used to come to our headquarters, where our electoral campaign was based, and asked us to change things. And the truth is that we created a mini revolution at Barcelona.
People suddenly regarded Laporta as what we call here foc nu, a breath of fresh air, because he would eradicate everything and offer a fresh start.
Laporta began by replacing manager Radomir Antic with Dutchman Frank Rijkaard.
It was a controversial decision, though. We were convinced he was the ideal manager. But, yet again, public opinion was trying its best to ensure that our project to revolutionize the club didn't work.
Ronaldinho, who arrived from Paris Saint-Germain for 30 million euros, would play a key role in the Laporta revolution.
What I did say was that we would lead Barca to the forefront of the footballing world. And for that to occur with our project, we had to sign one of these three players: David Beckham, Thierry Henry, or Ronaldinho. It turned out to be Ronaldinho.
The Brazilian immediately endeared himself to the Camp Nou faithful and became the figurehead of Laporta's new Barca.
Ronaldinho brought back the enthusiasm that Barca needed. We needed a catalyst like him to make our fans excited again. He got across exactly what we wanted to portray from our young boardroom, which was happiness, excitement, enthusiasm, talent, a new way of playing and entertainment.
With Ronaldinho inspirational, Barca finally ended a 6-year trophy drought, winning the Spanish League title in 2005.
It was the way that we played from the second half of our first season. Back then was when the team adopted the footballing ideals that we were trying to implement. That philosophy, that football philosophy based on Cruyff's mentality and his way of understanding the game. Playing 2 touches and then attacking. That league title served to confirm that we were doing things right. And then we started to imagine that the future would be memorable, that the future could be very good indeed.
A priority for the future was La Masia, the club's youth academy. Laporta's policy was the antithesis of Real Madrid's commitment to their Galacticos. And for Barcelona, it was a policy that would reap handsome rewards.
We build La Masia as the factory of dreams for those kids who fantasize about playing for the first team. Investing in the academy creates a footballing identity, and you therefore create a special attachment and commitment from the players to the club. That's because they've been with us since childhood, and ever since they were small they've been playing the same style of football and identify themselves with the philosophy and what the club is about.
They show you how to perform at school, how to adapt to a playing style that they've been using for many years, with some very precise, specific exercises. It's nice. You improve very quickly in a short time.
2 of La Masia's rising stars were Andres Iniesta and Xavi Hernandez, a midfield pair who would be crucial to the club's surge to the pinnacle of football.
I've been lucky enough to be brought up on the Barcelona ethos, which has taught me the value of being part of a team. Today for you, tomorrow for me. Those qualities are essential for life in general.
But it was Lionel Messi, a young Argentinian nurtured by the club since arriving as a 13-year-old in 2000, who would surpass everyone else.
Imagine how much we would have to pay to sign Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, Puyol, Piqué, Busquets or Pedro.
With the yield from the La Masia production line peaking, the following season Barca retained their league title, finishing 12 points clear of second-placed Real Madrid.
The team had everything. It had a very strong attacking mentality and was highly effective up front. It was an unstoppable team. We were coming off the back of a disappointing period. So we were all absolutely delighted. And that took us to Paris.
In Paris, Barca met English club Arsenal in the final of the Champions League. Just 18 minutes in, Arsenal goalkeeper Jens Lehmann brought down Samuel Eto'o.
He committed a foul and got sent off, so Barca played the whole game against 10 men. Nevertheless, Arsenal went in front.
I had the feeling we would win, even when Arsenal was still 1-up with a quarter of an hour left.
Eto'o took the ball on and hit a toe poke, which he got past the goalkeeper. It was the typical situation whereby the team conceding the goal becomes cautious, and the team that's just equalised goes on the attack. So in the next attack, Belletti got lucky. It deflected off Almunia and went in. It's a final that Barca won by sheer desire, not by playing great football. Ronaldinho didn't play well. Generally, it wasn't a good game, but it was an exciting one.
If I told you before that the first league title told us how well things were going, then I think the Champions League trophy was confirmation of the whole project. We went from winning nothing to winning that, after having made some difficult decisions, all in just 3 years. Winning the Champions League in our third season was very important.
But the following 2 seasons saw Real Madrid win consecutive league titles as Barcelona failed to lift a trophy. The pressure began to mount on manager Frank Rijkaard.
Frank Rijkaard was very relaxed. The only criticism I would have probably that he was a little bit too relaxed.
Rijkaard said, the only one left with any desire is Puyol, the captain. Puyol tried everything to keep the dressing room in order. It was a shambles, a disaster. Ronaldinho went crazy, going out partying, dancing. Well, it all ended up with him not even bothering to train. They would say he's in the gym, when he was actually sleeping in the gym.
I had to tell Ronnie, because he deserved to be told by the president of the club, and that was me, that his time at Barca was up. I went to Ronaldinho's house and told him. I then went straight to Messi's house, because they were neighbours, and I asked him to take on the role of the team's talisman. I told him we all trusted him.
And Laporta made one more big decision. He sacked Frank Rijkaard.
I had to tell him that if we didn't win anything that season, I would have to sack him and replace him with Pep Guardiola. That was a decision I made knowing all the risks involved.
Josep Guardiola was a midfielder in the Barcelona team that won the European Cup in 1992 under Cruyff, and he spent 11 seasons in the first team.
Pep Guardiola has been part of Barca since he was very small. The decision was based on the fact that Pep loves Barca. He was familiar with the club's football philosophy based on Cruyff's formula. And then also the fact that he is someone who had progressed through every single age group at La Masia.
He had already been in charge of the B team, guiding them to promotion to the third division. Guardiola is a perfectionist and demanding.
His demands were met in style. Guardiola developed a passing game, beautifully exemplified in this historic 6-2 victory away to Real Madrid. It helped Barca regain the league title from their main rivals, scoring 105 goals in the process.
The squad didn't change that much when Guardiola arrived. It was more he brought a few players through from the B team who sort of knew his philosophy and style. He got the players that were in the squad to believe that his way was the way to play, to be successful, to win things.
And a recent arrival was extremely impressed.
I think from the moment I first began working with Guardiola, I saw that the team had adopted a Brazilian philosophy already in the way that we trained, and that Barcelona were to be admired throughout the world. So I think many things, many objectives, all came together so that everyone now admires Barca.
In the summer of 2008, an important thing happened. Puyol, Xavi and Iniesta won the European Championship in Austria and Switzerland. Xavi was named player of the tournament after having had a horrific year with Barca. So Xavi came back to Barca with newfound confidence. And Messi exploded onto the scene. He'd been knocking on the door, but because of circumstances, injuries, he hadn't been consistent. But then Messi took off.
We all knew that he was an amazing talent, but then you also need to work. He made his first team debut when he was only 16 years old, and I remember that when he was an under-14, I went to see him in a game in which he scored 4 goals in just 14 minutes. He played exactly how he does today.
The little Argentinian scored twice in a 4-0 annihilation of Bayern Munich in the first leg of their Champions League quarter-final, a result that reverberated around the football world.
Barcelona totally outclassed them. They left them dumbfounded. Barca definitely left them in shock.
The first leg of the semi-final against English club Chelsea ended goalless, and Barcelona fell behind early in the return.
Barca could have been knocked out 25 times, because Chelsea had numerous chances. The referee could easily have awarded them 2 penalties. Barca only stayed in the game due to luck.
But deep into injury time, Andres Iniesta conjured a dramatic and decisive away goal.
When Iniesta scored, Barca was destined to win that Champions League.
In Rome, Barca met the holders, Manchester United.
It was one of those finals that was just a party for Barcelona. And I think that was acknowledged by the British press and by Manchester United too. We played wonderfully well.
As soon as we got into our passing game and into our groove, so to speak, we outplayed them, and we went 1-0 up from a Samuel Eto'o goal, and ever since that moment the feeling was, okay, we won't give this away now.
And then Messi scored an extraordinary goal with a header. It's incredible. Messi isn't tall. If he walked past here, we wouldn't see him.
The world opened its eyes to this system. This genuine style of playing the game. Barca's style is a model, a football formula. It offers you entertainment, but it's also effective and efficient because it brings you titles. To be in Rome and to make football look like art, as Barca did, was very emotional.
But it was bittersweet for Samuel Eto'o. He scored 152 goals for Barca over 5 seasons, yet Guardiola ushered him out of the Camp Nou.
Guardiola doesn't like people with personality. He wants a dressing room with good boys only. That's all right, but you also need a player with big character on the pitch. And Eto'o used to give character to the team. A winner, a fighter.
His replacement was another controversial character, Swedish striker Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who nevertheless helped Barca create history in 2009 by winning all 6 available trophies, including the UEFA Super Cup and the FIFA Club World Cup.
We had a unique season, one for the football record books. It was a team that won everything that was possible to be won in just 1 year. And it's not just about everything we won, but it's how we did it, how the team played. That was the perfect season. A season that can be equalled, but never bettered.
2010 was comparatively barren. The Blaugrana celebrated only the league title and the Spanish Super Cup. And in July that year, Laporta stepped down as club president and was replaced by one of his original directors, Sandro Rosell. 10 days later in the World Cup final, Barca's Andres Iniesta scored a dramatic winner to give Spain victory over the Netherlands in extra time and a first World Cup triumph. The nation owed a debt of gratitude to Barcelona. 7 of the Blaugrana played a part in the final. Back with their club, those players and their teammates continued to win trophies. Barcelona retained the league title in 2011, and a 3-1 aggregate defeat of Real Madrid took them to the final of the Champions League for the 3rd time in 5 years.
You have to win, because if not, people is angry because we don't win. Basically, I think that we are living a dream, all the players, because we are doing a great job, and we have to keep continuing playing like this.
Wembley Stadium hosted a repeat of the 2009 final. Once again, the opponents were Manchester United. Barca played a 4-3-3 system with two attacking fullbacks in Dani Alves and Eric Abidal. Captain Carlos Puyol was on the bench due to injury, and his place was filled by Javier Mascherano alongside Gerard Piqué at centre-back.
I'm so lucky to be here, and it's unbelievable to play with Messi, with Andrés Iniesta, with Xavi. You arrive to the pitch, you arrive to the stadium, and you know that you are the favorite.
Sergio Busquets was the foundation for the creative and technical skills of Xavi and Iniesta, allowing Pedro, Villa and Messi to provide the firepower.
Andrés is incredible. I'm a passer, and if I have teammates around me who make my job easier, all the better. Andrés is one of them.
Such players were schooled in the methods of La Masia. Barca's passing game, known as tiki-taka, is centred on ball retention, wearing down the opposition with short passes and quick movement.
Playing two-touch football, playing with an attacking mentality, pressing high up the pitch to regain possession as quickly as possible when our opponents have the ball, and keeping hold of the ball as long as we possibly can.
It was a style much in evidence at Wembley. Pedro gave Barcelona a deserved lead.
It's great for any sportsman to achieve new goals. They are things you feel proud and happy about, because they are things you'll never forget, and they remain with you when you retire, and you can tell people about them.
Wayne Rooney equalised before half-time, but Barcelona remained in the ascendancy. They retook the lead early in the second half when Lionel Messi struck his 53rd goal of the season, a club record.
You don't hear wow at a football match. You shout, whistle, scream, but you don't tend to say wow in admiration at a football stadium. Well, I heard wow a few times that night at Wembley.
15 minutes later came another of those moments. David Villa produced an emphatic finish to make it 3-1 to Barcelona.
I think it's a game to be recorded and shown to everyone that wants to learn how to play football against a great team. Because Manchester United is a great team, and they gave it all, but they just weren't able to get the ball off Barcelona.
Barcelona were champions of Europe once again.
Barcelona now is one of the main teams in the world. And I think that we are an example on how we play, or on how we win and on how we lose. When you are a football player and you are lucky to win all these titles, when you win these titles you feel like you are complete inside.
In April 2012, Guardiola announced that he was resigning as manager at the end of the season.
4 years is an eternity to be the coach of Barcelona. An eternity. And I don't want to sign a long-term deal, one that wouldn't allow me to make my own decisions.
Guardiola signed off by leading his team to the Spanish Cup and the FIFA Club World Cup. His replacement, in line with the La Masia policy, was his assistant, Tito Villanova, who helped the club recapture the Spanish League title in 2013. In 8 years, from May 2005 to May 2013, Barcelona won an incredible 20 trophies, including those 3 Champions League crowns, 6 Spanish League titles, and 2 Club World Cups. Success owed much to the best of youth development combined with a shrewd transfer policy. But most important was the core philosophy. It made Barcelona one of the greatest teams football has ever seen.
It's a privilege to be part of this history and these victories.
If we stop now and we start to count what we have achieved or what we have done, I think that it's a big mistake now. I think we have to keep continuing our way to winning things.
At the end of the day, the aim at Barcelona is to win. Not just to win, but play well and try to make the fans feel proud of the team.
All this is magical fulfillment for a lifelong supporter who worshipped one of the game's true greats and saw all his dreams come true.
Johan Cruyff is the father of all of this. He's the inspiration behind it. It has been the best team in Barca's history and also an example to the rest of the world. So being the president of that makes me really proud. It's an honor, and I'm extremely grateful to everyone who made it possible.